Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Well, we got just the shit show of the shit shows, don't we? And it just keeps getting thicker. What's going on, everybody? Right now, I just want to announce real quick, and then we have a video to watch. Yeah. This video is a little different, but I want to say that it just came in. 900 U.S. troops are deployed or being deployed right now to go to the Middle East. So we have more troops going over to the Middle East, and the shit show is just getting thick. Hey, Mountain Grandma, Brandy F, she's a wildflower, Hooga Hooga, RCX, everybody else that I missed in the chat. If you're a lurker, you're welcome to come on in. Take a look at this video because this is kind of how I'm feeling tonight. And I put this together for the channel, for the mag. And that way we'll let people drift in for a couple minutes and you all say hello and everything to each other. So let's go.
All that matters is the climb. Such a perfectionist. So everything gotta be right. Just setting a precedent. This right here's a testament to my sacrifice. Back in my element. I'm back in my element. I'm back in my. If they don't want let them in. Gotta leave them all behind. I here like a veteran. But I ain't even hit my whoop. I'm back in my element. Crunch time in the final four. Come in and I trailblaze. I've been walking through the fire, so I gotta get everything. Cause I ain't come all this way to end up a second string. Back in my element. I'm back in my element. I'm back in my. If they don't want let them in. Gotta leave them all behind. I here like a veteran. But I ain't even hit my whoop. Back in my element. Back in my element. If they don't want let them in. I'm here like a veteran. But I ain't even hit my prime. Back in my element. Back in my element. If they don't want let them in. I'm here like a veteran. But I ain't even hit my prime.
All right, folks. That's about how I feel. We're like in the element of destruction in a total foobar. What's happening right now is historical, everyone. And I want to say this. Since old Joey Joe started occupying the White House, we have seen a series of events that has destabilized the world itself. And it's getting worse and worse by the day. There's no sugarcoating it. It is really getting to the point that it's absolutely crazy. Russia and Ukraine, the war, increased nuclear capable missile tests in Iran, the disastrous Afghanistan withdrawal that left Americans and allies behind. Now, China and Russia strengthening their anti American alliance, China and Russia meeting again. We have so many things happening right now. I think the thing that we really need to realize is that this is not going back to the old America. So we got to go forward, but also we have huge moves happening right now concerning Taiwan and the Hamas attack against Israel. The lineup is just huge. This playbook, boy, is disastrous. And I have to say that really they have played this out to the T. Then we have the situation, right? We have the situation. Yep, yep, that's exactly it. He wanted it, so that's what he gets. His numbers are low. They're about ready to just go on down in the deep Black Sea. But folks, we also have this situation that happened, and we all know there was a mass shooting. But there's still so many things that just don't set right with me. And I want to talk about it a little bit before I get into the war situation because the things that are happening are historical. How many of you think this is honestly for a gun grab hit a one? Um, because I'm not saying that people didn't get hurt. I'm not saying that people didn't get murdered and that people aren't in the hospital, right? But what I'm saying is that when you look around and you look at the pictures and the videos, it's awfully funny to me that every time in the United States that there is a mass shooting, they leave a logbook, they leave videos, they leave pictures, they have all these signs, but yet nobody did anything, right? And it seems the timing, yes, the timing of the shooting is very suspicious, and the bowling alley name, it kind of just rubbed me wrong. Just in time, like that is the name of the bowling alley center where it happened at, just in time. And maybe we're just conspiracy nuts. Maybe all these things are just coincidence, but maybe not. When you sit down before you go to, exactly, Tanya, before I'm prior military, and this guy supposedly is prior military. He well, there's all kinds of things coming out about him, right? And they always have this long record of things. And then I don't know about y'all. Here's one thing that really sets uneasy with me. Many of you have kids and grandkids. If my little child, 9, 10 years old, got grazed by a bullet, I'll be gosh dang damn that she's going to be on TV talking about it was scary. But yet she got grazed by a bullet. There's such good actors sometimes. And this is the bad thing is that I believe honestly that people got murdered. I believe honestly good people got hurt. But then you turn around and look at this and it's like, who are these people? And then there's this lady with this bright red wig on her head that looks like she came right out of the freak show talking about my son has technology and that's what rescued them. And there's so many stories coming out and so many videos, and the propaganda is deep. We are living in historical dangerous times. I have to say that it is dangerous times. But did y'all notice the pictures? Every time there's a mass shooting in this country, they have a great picture, but the picture's super grainy. Like the picture is just so grainy. Like right now, I have back screens up and stuff, but y'all can see my fingers. I'm not all grainy. And there's just so many things that set uneasy with me. How many of you in the chat honestly believe, a small town, it's a small community, 38,000, but this is a town in Maine where there's avid hunters, where we just got a new Speaker of the House, right? Who's an avid hunter. And this is like a slap in his face. Like, what are you going to do about it now? I think this is a gun grab. We have to realize that ammo sales are up. People are panic buying ammo. And when we think about that, that is something that kind of triggers something with me that says something is not right with this whole picture. Now, don't think. So you interview people who don't have a Maine accent. Yes, that was interesting too, Brandy. But the kids, you know, honestly, folks, if you have a 9, 10-year-old daughter, I'm not going to let my kid go on TV and talk about what happened. And honestly, having PTSD, why would you put your kid on TV? Just food for thought, food for thought. But, it's Bougie's birthday. Well, I'm coming in for my birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday, Boo. What? I missed it. Dragonflash rewrite it. But this is the other thing is Hamas. This is where we're ending up, folks. This is the interesting thing. Happy birthday, Bougie. Happy, happy birthday. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Yeah. You know, we have to look at this. None of this happened under number 45. Things did happen. And I've always said I'm not for one or the other. I'm not for the Republicans or the Democrats because I think they're birds. They all flock together. They're the same. But inside the White House, it has been very chilling since the current administration took office just 1,000 days ago. Former Defense Secretary Bob Gates, who ran the Pentagon under presidents of both parties, he ran it under George Bush and he ran it under Barack Obama. He is telling us that U.S. America is facing the most crisis since World War II, which ended 78, almost 79 years ago. My granddaddy was in it. You know, critics of the current administration would point to his weakness, falling downstairs, stumbling, he can't speak, he can't talk. But yet, when he came on his little last broadcast, boy, he had a lot to say, and there wasn't one stuttering word. That doesn't seem right either. But the big thing to me is our weakness of our U.S. military strength and what's happening. And all of our munitions being sent to other countries. It's like snap your fingers and the United States is going to send you everything. And tens of billions of the equipment to Ukraine since February of 2022. And now Israel is lining up for their handout. The thing that bothers me really, though, is with the way the countries are aligning and the way that BRICS is lining up. It is Israel, the EU, and the United States against everyone else. We have to really think about that, folks. Think about what I just said. Israel, the EU, and the United States against all these other countries. And all the other countries are joining BRICS. So that is something that we really need to consider. We need to consider that we are on the edge of catastrophe. Russia says it is coordinating Middle East policy with China. And if you'd like to read some interesting articles, go to AXIOS, Axis. The fact is that when people at the highest level of government are rattled and scared of what's happening, and they're not just regarding one issue, but many, not just one war, but more, global issues and the economy is putting people in food lines. It's preparing to take us straight down this dark abyss. And I think that when we see this and we understand how many countries, right? I think there are bad vibes. Oh, I would agree. Bad vibes in the White House, that's for sure, folks. But I want to talk about this is that the current regime is definitely freaking rattled. They're rattled beyond repair. They're rattled. And I want to say that when we look at what's going on, they're rattled because this is historical danger. This is a real SHTF. Americans are going to have to survive without government help. Without government help. Because ever since he started occupying the White House, we have seen a series of events that have just totally destabilized the world itself. And it's going to get worse. It's not going to get better. We also have another situation in the Middle East that just broke out. So that is something that we should all think about as well. So we have all these situations breaking loose, and we have a current establishment that all they've done is left the southern border open. And I'll tell you what, I love Amber Z. If one of my mods could go get Amber Z's channel and drop the link. She has always been a friend of this channel. She disappeared for a lot of months. She came back with a very good video. And Dragonflies, if you could find that video and drop it, it's her latest one. What she said about the open border makes so much sense. And she took and did a collab of the different videos. But we all have to really think about this. So many people are calling out military-age men coming in. Could this have been the plan from the very get-go? Could this have been the plan? You know, we have purged our military. We have purged our first responders. We have purged our good teachers. We have purged our nurses. Who haven't we purged, right? So that happened at the beginning of COVID in 2019. And when you watch Amber Z's video, which I give her big props because she doesn't care. She don't care about nothing but speaking the truth, and I love Amber Z. This video is really telling the truth. And we have to think about how many of these middle-aged men, mostly, 20s to 30s, I wouldn't even say middle-aged, I'd say military age.
young, some of them in their late teens and 20s, are coming across here, and then they have a fast track program to get into the United States military. So think about this. We have purged the military. Many military jumped off board. They left because of the Kool-Aid, right? So then on top of it, we bring them over, we bus them in, we give them, they know what they're coming here for. See, Americans, American military would not turn their guns on Americans. That would just be so against our beliefs and our thoughts and our system. But who would? Well, anybody that comes over from another country. Maybe this is the UN military. Let's think about this. There's Amber's video. After this live stream, I'd like you all to go watch it. I'd like you to say that OTWP sent me. Amber Z is really, she's really a neat gal. Even though I seen things on her live one time that I was shocked. If y'all remember, we seen a naked situation on a live stream. Well, Amber's the one. I always give her shit about it too. But I want to say that when we think about this and we think about all these military age men coming over, and then the purging of the military, the purging of the first responders, why wouldn't they turn their guns on us? Just a question. Just asking for a friend. Yeah. Maher Bitar. Thank you, Mark. It's very crazy the things that are going on. As a prepping community, we need to keep going forward. And I think one of the biggest things, folks, is that we cannot let all of these distractions take us and throw us off kilter. And it's very easy to do. It's very easy to do because we see what's happening. I mean, let's take a look and what's happening in Israel. All of a sudden, they try to take our eyes off of Israel and put it on something else. And see, we're all like little squirrels. We bounce over there. We go, okay, let's go see what's happening over there. And as we see right now, look at where it's at. All of this concentration. Hold on. I don't even think you're all in here yet. Nope, you're not. Let's pop it up here. Let me pop me down in the corner so y'all have a good picture of it. Oh, yes, most definitely, Melanie. Most definitely. You can tell by his mask. But I want to say this, as they're taking all of our eyes off of Israel onto other things, we have to think about what's happening over there. In that little area right there where all the blue is, there was roughly 5 to 6,000 deceased people, elderly, children, and women. That is against military code. That is against everything that the United States was once built on. And I have to say that if you really think about that alone, that is a game changer. And that should be a warning sign to each and every one of us that the game has changed, that it has truly changed, and that we're not going back. As you can see right there, and I do want to touch base on a few things. There's sirens sounding everywhere. There is missiles dropping. And if you go down here, 12 dead in an Israeli bombing that targeted a house. There's another one, another bombing. And then there is 74 trucks that got into the Gaza with humanitarian aid in the last 24 hours, supposedly White House John Kirby says. I've lost all faith, every bit of faith that I ever had in this government. I always tried to stay positive, but I have lost all faith in what's happening. You can see there. Hold on, I want to pull it up if I can get it to slow down a minute. No, maybe I can't. See, they don't like us to show certain things. Right there. Come on. Boy, this thing is giving me a hard time tonight. So right there on the live map, right there where my cursor is, there's been a lot of rocket fire from the Gaza Strip at central Israel. This is the third time today, just in the last 5 to 6 hours. And it along the Tel Aviv and just north of it and south of it, it is a disastrous mess. And then as you go down here south, you can see what's happening down here. Hamas has claimed that it hit an Israeli helicopter, fired an anti-aircraft missile, and it just keeps escalating. And I think that we're going to see the total escalation when someone does the wrong thing, when they hit the wrong situation. We have moved more and more military into that area, and I think that we are in for a big, big disaster. This is historical what's happening. I believe truly that it's biblical. I believe that the things that are happening are biblical right now. And wag the dog. Yep, that's about the truth. Hey, stepping in it. Yeah, it's a done deal in Illinois, is a thought. Hey, Lady Casca, what's going on, Booty Bootylicious? I think that each one of us really need to realize what we're up against, because what we're up against is way bigger than the current establishment. The current establishment is just disastrous in every way that we look at. And yeah, Barb, you're 150% correct. But I think what we need to realize is it's not just sleeper cells, it's a lot of lone wolves. And what happened last night in Maine is going to escalate. We're going to see more and more of these situations happen because they're starting to pop up, not just in the United States, but all over the world. And so anybody that stands against what's occurring is going to have that happen in the country. But I think the big thing is China and Russia. And when it goes one more step and it goes toward Taiwan, that is when the United States is going to be snapped in half, because we do not have the munitions, we do not have the military capability to help with that situation. By doing that, that would put us into three wars. Old university, Chinese university document came out, and he was talking about that's all we'd have to do. And the big thing that they have to do, and the big thing they want to do, is get rid of the guns, the Second Amendment that is in people's hands here in the United States. That is protecting us from the tyrannical overreach, the last step. And when they start going door to door to door and they start confiscating guns, we've seen this happen in Montana. What's in Montana? The most long rifles of anywhere in this country, and the most uh, military aspect type people. So when we seen that happen, and they weren't after the gun owner, the shop owners documents, they were after the list of who bought guns. And we all know that legal gun ownership, we register our guns because we abide by the law. The thing that concerns me is that when they start coming door to area and confiscating the guns, or as they flip over more and more mass shootings, they're going to call it. They're going to call it. Yeah, yeah. Well, Iran and North Korea both stand with China and Russia and with BRICS. We already know that's for sure. One thing I did want to say, and let me see if I can pull it up real quick. I pulled up a very interesting freaking article, and I want to read part of it. It may get me a strike, and if it does, somebody drop the backup channel, please. I I don't care. I care about the channel, but I also don't care, because if we don't keep standing, where are we going to be? Um, Let me see if I can find it, folks. I'm sorry. Well, I think I'll have to put it out on a video because now my other cell phone is dead. Um, I will put it out in a video. And if it causes me a strike, make sure that you're subscribed to the backup channel, which is OTWP Leaving Footprints. We have to keep speaking the truth. We have to keep seeking the truth. And that's really important. This article that came out was talking about what the Chinese really believe, that they are the superior race over over Americans, over Caucasians, actually worse than what was said in WW2. And this article goes in depth from this Chinese military person that has stepped down. So I want you all to realize that this isn't about, there's not going to be no peace. This is going to become WW3 full blown right here in the United States. And we are going to, hey, Ron, what's going on, man? We're going to see these things pop up more and more and more. I think that the biggest thing, and we have to step back a little bit and kind of do like a dot to dot when we were kids. And when you put the dots together and you look at the things that have been attacked in the United States, We just happened to have Hoover Dam. A transformer blew up there. Oh, was it a test run? We had a weather balloon go over from China. Nobody stopped it. I wonder why. Bought and paid for, right, folks? But then we have to look at also, our food supply, all the chickens that have been culled, all the ducks that were culled, all the fish, the trout in the West Coast. Club K, is it a possibility the Trojan horse is still sitting out there? And then on top of it, we know the capabilities of the military that we're seeing is way behind the generations of where they're at right now. You might remember, oh my gosh, it was like 2 years ago. I said, if you ever get that serious headache and you're standing in front of a window, get off the X. Well, that laser sound, that sound that it wasn't even late. Well, it's laser technology. Is imagine we know about this generation 4 or maybe 5. They're probably a generation 10 or 11. And I want to say this about AI. If you're a YouTube creator or if you're a video creator, you'll start noticing that AI is starting to take, hey, you can do this via AI. You don't have to do anything. Just push this button and AI will create a video for you. Push this button and AI will add an effect for you. And when you think about that, 80 to 90% of the jobs that the average American has is going to be taken over by AI. And then when you have the military coming in, that's not our military. Put the two together, and it is a disaster zone waiting to happen. And if you want to drop your link, folks. I don't care about link dropping anymore. Just drop them like it's hot. If you're a mod, drop your link. If you're not a mod and somebody says help mod, just say mod, and one of the mods will drop your link for you. But I don't care about dropping links anymore. Just do the dang thing. This is about community, and I know that many of you, we all need to band together because the days are limited where we'll be able to do that. And many channels come out with all kinds of important information, things that I don't look at, somebody else may look at. So if you'd like your channel dropped, just put mod. And George, your Tumblr did send to you. I sent you an email with the tracking, just so you know. Stepping in it, I sent you your tracking number. Um, I think, folks, that Huga, you're not a mod. I thought Huga was a mod. Huga, I thought you were always a mod here. What the heck's going on? I'll make you a mod again as soon as I turn my phone back on. Sorry. I want you all to know that I really care, and I think that the things that we're facing are going to be devastating. Especially as they dump the bonds back in from China and Russia and all over the world. The petrodollar, the fiat dollar, is going to take a major dump. I had to kind of laugh if somebody wants to grab Ark Wildman's video. He was making big fun tonight, and I want to give a huge shout out to Ark. He was in his best realm tonight, and I really enjoyed his video. It made me chuckle and laugh through hard times. And I think that that's important that we keep staying centered and focused. For you that missed the video at the beginning, I will show it. I put that production together because that's kind of how I feel. Is we're all sitting on eggshells and walking on eggshells. But I think the most important thing that we can do is honestly is to keep living life. We're not promised tomorrow, and the thing is be appreciative of what you got today. You don't have to consume. You don't have to run around and want something just because a channel tells you to get it. Do what's best for you and your family, and that's very important. I sometimes get very irritated with prepping community channels because they want to tell you this is how you have to do it. And if that was the case, there would only be one large prepping channel on YouTube. The thing is that we all have individual circumstances. We all have individual budgets, and some of us might have families, some of us might be single. The most important thing, in my opinion, is to get your basics in order. Definitely water, food, first aid, and really, really important is to learn natural ways to take care of yourself, to get healthier, to cut down on your bad habits, to get up off your lazy ass and get out of your recliner and walk. Do the things that you can do to make yourself healthier. because when we don't have any medical facilities there, or we have the crazy, crazy shit that's going on in the medical facilities right now, and I don't know how many of you have been to a doctor in the last 30 to 60 days, but there's something really wrong in the medical facilities. I believe there has been for years. What's up, Amber? Was your ears burning, baby? Because I just gave you a huge shout out on your video. But you know, folks, when we see the medical facilities just falling apart, and how many of you have been to a medical facility in the last 60 days? I'll tell you what, when I went because of my heart problem, I'll tell you what, folks, I felt like I was in some kind of damn Twilight Zone, that it wasn't even the same type of medical facility I had been in 3 years ago. And She's a Wildflower had a situation. I think Scan and some of you others, Tamara. It's very interesting to me how the purge has happened, and now all those people are getting replaced with not Americans. And I think that that's something really to pay attention to, folks. As Amber Z put in her video, and I gave you a huge shout out, Amber. I also gave you a shout out about your live stream where people were showing things they shouldn't show on YouTube. I'll never forget it. I'm sorry, Amber. Me and Dragonflies were like, what just happened on Amber's live stream? But we love you anyway. You know, I'll never let you live it down, Amber. But I want to say, folks, that we got to keep walking. We got to keep putting our boots on the ground, but we got to be very observant of how things are lining up, right? And the way things are lining up is it's going to be three countries, Israel, EU, and America, standing against all of BRICS and the other countries. And when you take that into consideration, we're screwed. We are jacked up screwed, but especially with the leadership we have in DC right now. If we've ever had good leadership, it's been decades and decades ago. And when we do get good leadership, they throw them under the bus. So that's something to really think about. I'm going to go ahead and take it on out tonight. I appreciate everybody being here, but I am going to show the video that I made for y'all one last time on the way out so you can say your goodbyes. Y'all keep your boots on the ground, and most of all, don't freaking give up for nothing. For nothing. But head on a swivel, because the shit that's popping off, these lone wolf situations, they're going to be more and more. So this is our new theme for the channel, and I hope y'all like it. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. Please hit the thumbs up, or if you can't stand me, hit the thumbs down. I really don't give a shit. But anyway, thank you so much for being here. And yeah, wow. Yes, that's what I seen, Amber, and that freaking bothers me. There's something really, really crazy going on. Thank you, Chilan Cho TV, for coming in. Leia, thank you for coming in. I will be doing a mail opening of the books that I was talking about, the foraging and the natural healing books. I will be doing a little live stream about that, or a video, something. I'll be doing something to show it, because it's really where we all need to be. God bless y'all from here in the Ozarks to wherever you're at. Keep on doing the dang thing. Don't give up and don't give in. And remember, we're waiting for you. We're going to keep on waiting. Nope, it's not welcome to our house, but watch this, boo. I hope you like it. This is my new video production that I put together for this channel for all of you. God bless you. And this is where we're at, folks. Prep nuclear. Educate yourself. Educate yourself on foraging. Make sure you have water purification. Most of all, learn the skills. And don't give up and don't give in. Do the dang thing on a daily basis, y'all. No matter what that means to you. Keep on moving.
Such a perfectionist. So everything gotta be right. Just setting a precedent. This right here's a testament to my sacrifice. Back in my element. I'm back in my element. I'm back in my, if they don't want let them in. Gotta leave them all behind, out here like a veteran. But I ain't even hit my whoop, I'm back in my element. Crunch time in the final four, come in and I trailblaze. I've been walking through the fire, so I gotta get everything. I gotta get everything, cause I ain't come all this way to end up a second string. Back in my element. I'm back in my element. I'm back in my, if they don't want let them in. Gotta leave them all behind. I feel like a veteran, but I ain't even hit my back in my element. Back in my element. If they don't want let them in. I feel like a veteran, but I ain't even hit my prime. Back in my element. Back in my element. If they don't want let them in. I feel like a veteran, but I ain't even hit my prime.
Back in my element. Back in my element. Back in my element. Back in my element. I'm back in my element. I'm back in my element. I'm back in my element.